What's up, karate nerds? I am in London, UK, together with my brother Oliver for a very special reason. Tell him why.
I'm fighting in Bellator MMA, and it's gonna be my debut after my UFC fights.
Right. After your UFC fight, which was last year, right here as well. And what happened then?
I got knocked out. And it was, in my opinion, an early stoppage. So the referee was on top of me and the fight was over in the first round. When you're in the middle of a fight, everything changes. I remember in the fight I was supposed to throw side kicks to his body to keep him away, but the knee felt so much closer than the body, so I went to the knee all the time, and I didn't really pick up his reactions because I was so focused on what I was gonna do. I was just so empty after. Like, I didn't have any feelings. I wasn't angry or disappointed. I was just empty, you know, like I've been training for so long. But I also feel like now it's time for redemption, because from my first UFC fight to my second UFC fight, I grew so much. But from my second UFC fight until today is even more so improvement. So I really look forward to fight now and see what I can accomplish.
And the fight is tonight. And we already arrived a few days ago. We've done a really fun photo shoot together where Oliver did a lot of cool and different poses with a wonderful photographer.
Elbow, you want to come across, you want to come down. Excellent.
And then we've done a press. You did a lot of interviews and media with different MMA journalists.
You are young, you are talented. Do you think you can be that face?
Absolutely. I think above all I have the right mindset, and I think I can be a good role model. A lot of people, fighters, just want to train and fight and don't care about anything else. I want to spread a good message, be a good role model for people coming up, and also like represent the more traditional side with martial arts, like the Bushido, respect, humility, and these things that come with it. So show that you can be a lethal killer and a good guy at the same time.
And we also had the weigh-ins, and of course that's a very exhausting process in itself. That's like a fight before the actual fight. And you made weight, and that was really fun. You got to face off with your opponent as well. And now all of the preparations are over. It's been a year in the making, and it's finally time today for Oliver to step up and do his thing.
This time around I'm really gonna push the pace. I'm gonna use my cardio as a weapon, because earlier I've been focusing more on like being relaxed and getting a feeling for the opponent, all of this. But I am very relaxed, like naturally, and I don't get stressed in these fights. And cardio has always been one of my biggest weapons, so I feel it's time I really try to use it now. And I'm gonna fight with more bad intentions this time.
Any last words for the viewers?
No matter the result, I know I will grow from this experience as a martial artist, and that's the whole idea, right? To challenge yourself and become better with every fight. And it's a lifelong journey. It's not just a fight, It's just a part of a long process.
All right,
let's do it.
Can see the cage here is actually round and not an octagon, because the UFC has a copyright on that shape. That's funny. So Oliver will be coming down that catwalk right there, and then entering the cage from here. I didn't want to disturb Oliver, so I came out here to tell you a little bit about his opponent, whose name is Walter Gahadza or something like that. He actually recently had a 16-fight win streak, and Oliver only prepared 3 weeks for this fight. So it's one of those last-minute things, but that's how it seems to work in MMA. You gotta stay ready instead of getting ready, because usually he would want a 2-month fight camp, which is standard in MMA. But I know that if Oliver's mind is on point, then he can achieve anything, because when the mind is right, the body will follow.
Your first fighter ready to make his way to the cage, Oliver Enkamp. Stockholm. Oliver Enkamp. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep. And now set to make his way to the cage, Walter The Sniper Gahadza.
Ditt avstånd, Oliver, ditt avstånd.
Svara, svara.
Ja, så ja, Oliver.
Sakta tempot.
Ta det lugnt.
Ta det lugnt. Snyggt. Där ja.
Så ja.
På direkt, på. Jobba, jobba. Bra. Huvudkontroll. Där. Bra, Oliver. Ja. Exakt! Ja!
Ja!
Ja! Ja!
The winner by submission, Oliver The Future Enkamp.
Oh, you thought it was over? We're back here, home at the dojo, for a post-fight analysis. Oliver, how does it feel to have won your Bellator debut fight?
Feels great, and it felt extra good because I got my comeback in London.
Exactly.
Where my last fight was, and I believe we did it against all the odds.
Yep.
Because we had a pretty long night.
There's something you guys need to know. Tell the people what actually happened leading up to your fight.
So when we get to the arena, or actually even earlier, when we were going to the arena, they told us to be on a shuttle bus at 4 p.m. and 10 minutes to 1 they tell us, no, change your schedule, you need to be here at 1. So we got 10 minutes to pack all our stuff and get down to the lobby where the bus is leaving. We didn't get to buy any food or bring any drinks, we didn't have any time for that. And then they tell us you can't leave the locker room.
So we're stuck in this locker room with a bunch of big, hungry, training warrior killers who are gonna go up in that cage, and it's full of testosterone.
With no food and no drinks, and you know, I'm the last fight on the preliminary card, which means we're 6+ hours early, you know. So when it's about, I believe, fight number 6 or 7, we start to warm up and we get some intense wrestling drills in and some intense boxing drills, and then when it's about fight 9 I start to wind down again, and this Bellator guy comes in and tells us, hey, there's a change in the schedule. All the fights have taken so long time and they need to start televised bouts on point of the schedule, so your fight will be moved. And I was just prepared to go in, you know. So I had to wind down again. I went back to my corner to sleep. I put some headphones on, and when I woke up we started to get going again, and the guy comes in again. He says, no, you have to wait another few fights, and if they go fast you might go in 3 fights, otherwise it's gonna take longer. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm starting to get hungry, and I don't have any energy left. We've been here now for like 6, 7, 8 hours.
In that one sweaty locker room.
Yeah, so Jesse managed to find some small packets of sugar that we pour into the water bottles. We were only allowed to have water bottles, not even coffee in there.
Like, we brought coffee and they said he couldn't even have a coffee because it's a stimulant, and the coaches couldn't have coffee either.
So weird.
Weird.
So I was drinking this sugar water to keep my energy and focus, and eventually one of our friends managed to find a cafeteria where he could get some rice and potatoes and beans and stuff. And I got some more energy and started to warm up again.
So this is like the 3rd or 4th warm-up now in like 7 or 8 hours that we've been there.
And the same Bellator guy comes back another time, and he tells us, no, I'm sorry, you're gonna be on last.
Like the very end of the whole Bellator show, after midnight, Oliver's fight was.
So guess what I did? I went back to sleep because I had to gather my energy and focus again. And when I woke up, it was maybe 11 p.m. or so.
Yeah.
And
start a new warm-up.
Yeah, but I was super hungry and I had no energy. So the third coach, he went down to the arena to find something to eat. We couldn't find anything but hot dogs. So my fight fuel was a hot dog and a Coke. And I haven't eaten a hot dog or a Coke in maybe 10 years.
It was literally just us left in that whole warm-up room. Everybody else had finished their fights and left, and we were just sitting there waiting for Oliver's fight. And now we're literally half a day. We've been there like almost 12 hours. Yeah. It's insane in that one stinking room.
And the only thing we could do to pass the time, there was a television screen, so we could watch the fights with no sound on though. But that was how we made the time fly.
Yeah. And then finally you managed to refocus, reorganize, get your stuff together, and then we went down and did the fight.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. When you entered the cage and you're standing there and you're finally seeing your opponent on the other side of the cage, what did you feel? What sensation was going through your mind and body in that moment when we finally got there?
So I had prepared for this doing visualization a lot of times. That means I've been listening to my walking music and picturing myself doing the walkout and everything to the arena. I wouldn't say angry, but I was irritated because of all the things we had to go through, and I've been training so hard for the last month.
And it had been over 436 days since you were last fighting in a cage. So this has been a long time coming.
Yeah. So I felt like this, nobody's gonna take this away from me, and I had a super solid focus right from the start. And my plan was to really put the pressure on him, because I knew I had confidence in my training. I really pushed myself these past weeks, and I knew my conditioning was on top. So
let's just quickly go through a few of the highlights, like a breakdown from the fight, because when you watch the whole fight, you might not understand what actually happened. It looks like some kind of a grappling fest, and you did some scrambles and takedowns, and then you're wrestling and suddenly Oliver wins. But why? What actually happened? So when the fight started off, he did a low calf kick.
Yeah, so we both run into the middle of the octagon here to put pressure on each other.
Yeah.
Circle a bit.
And he starts bang!
Yeah. And the calf kick is a pretty, I would say, a pretty trendy thing right now. A lot of people go from kicking the thigh to the calf because it's
Did that hurt?
Yes, I felt it right away, and I was like, okay, I can't take any more of those.
Yeah.
So I throw a calf kick back at him that he catches and throws his right hook. Shoot! Boom! But he drops my leg, so we're in the clinch, and I'm moving this way to do a sweep like this, bang. But he has so much force, pressure and force, so I almost fall under him and I throw him this way.
Yeah. And actually, that's a throw that you practice a lot.
Yes,
because I've seen you do that on the heavy bag downstairs. It's one of those, exactly. So you end up on the ground, and actually, that's great for you.
Right,
because that's one of your strengths, actually. Although Oliver has the traditional striking background from karate, a lot of his game lately has evolved.
But this guy was very strong, and he immediately stood up. So I had to follow him, and we landed on the cage.
Exactly.
And when we got to the cage, he kind of reversed me. So he threw me on the cage, and he put his head under here. So I tried to keep him away. I threw a couple of knees.
Did you land those knees?
Yes, they were pretty short, not very powerful because he was so close, but they hit him pretty good. And then he pummels this arm in here? Underhook.
Oh,
yes, like this. So he only has this arm. So I used this to throw him.
Yeah, that's when you did the front flip.
Yes, so I was going for the Uchimata throw, which is like this. But again, he has so much pressure, so he pulls me over and we do almost like a cartwheel.
Let's try it.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm throwing you
like
something like that. And yes, and here he was a bit faster, so he ends up on top. Yeah. And now I have to work my way out. I'm not sure if this is where we end up in the rubber guard.
Can you explain what is the rubber guard? Because you did that.
This is what's called a rubber guard. So we got a normal guard like this. Rubber guard means I'm hugging my leg and my knee to break his posture, so he can't pull up to punch me.
Right.
Exactly. So from here, what I want to do is clear the neck like this and bring this foot over his head so I can use this to choke him. And if I won't get the choke, I can use my legs for the Omoplata, which is a shoulder lock.
Yes, exactly.
And if this won't work, at least I get a scramble situation to get out.
And then a few times it looked like maybe you gave him your back or he took your back. Somehow you ended up here, this way.
Yeah. But I'm pretty flexible, so I just shake him off like this.
Like this.
Boom, yes. And I remember even, this happened twice. And the first time we're at his corner, so they're yelling instructions to him. Second time he got up on my back, he remembered the instructions, but he fell off again. And as soon as he hit the ground, he was like, so I'm taking the position right here. And I try to hit some elbows and some punches. I think this is where he turns around and gives his back.
Right.
So I end up here somewhere and I pull him over. I do the body triangle like this.
Oh, that's tight.
And usually people put this down here, but if you fall to this side and kind of cup my foot there, now push your hip forward. That's an ankle lock. So what I did was I put it in here and I control this leg instead. So I have both sides of your body control.
Oh, by the way, look at this bruise on my leg. I practiced one session with Oliver last week and I still have a bruise. He was in a full contact cage fight. He doesn't have a scratch. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think we're on this side at first. And I try to use my arm to choke him.
Right.
He has his chin tucked and 2 hands on one. So I feel I can't get any leverage here to pull, and my biceps start to get real tired. So I let this go and
punch a little bit?
Punch instead, and I think we fall to this side. So I get my strong arm because I'm right-handed. So I use this one. Here's where he turns this way in all fours.
That's not a good move.
No, because now you have both hands on the mat to try to stand up, which means you're not protecting your neck. So here's where I took the choke, and I just squeezed because I heard there's a signal when there's 10 seconds left, like pop, pop, pop. So I knew, oh, only got 10 seconds, and I pulled everything I could, and with 6 seconds left, he taps, and I get the choke.
So what did you talk about after your fight? I saw you were speaking to each other.
Yeah, he was sitting down on the canvas for a while. I could see he was really disappointed, but he was super humble and right away gave me respect for a great performance, and he said you had a solid game plan and you were the better man tonight. So he was very humble in defeat, and
that was his 4th loss.
Yeah.
So he has a great record.
He has 18 wins.
Yeah.
And 3 losses before the fight.
Yeah.
And I think that they said like 60% of all his wins comes in the first round from a finish.
Yeah. And it's funny, how many of your wins are by submission?
I think 5 out of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
One TKO and 2 decisions. And it's because, as you said earlier, people see me as a striker or a kicker and they try to take me down and probably underestimates my wrestling.
So what are your feelings right now? You've had some time to digest the fight. It's been 48 hours since you won. How do you feel right now and what's next?
So my body feels great. I don't have any injuries or anything. I'm still taking it easy a couple of days because there's a lot of stress on the nervous system when you do a fight like this, so it's important to recover, but I want to get back into the cage as soon as possible, and according to my manager it's likely gonna be like that because they were very happy with my performance, and I even talked to the Bellator matchmaker afterwards. He came to congratulate me. So I'm very happy to get a finish like this in my Bellator debut in the first round. It's a good statement for me and to spread karate in the MMA.
And now it's time for us to go pop some champagne.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.